we are pretty strict also in our processes and the protocols, and it's probably one of the safest places to go right now, our training ground. But it's difficult at the moment to take the right decisions, if I'm honest, because I'm struggling anyhow to complain about our situation, because we're still allowed to work further on. It's a privilege in these times, and still allowed to do our job. And also, like, for the club, it's difficult, because it's important that we play further on, and also the situation without supporters not easy from the financial point of view. So we have to make sure that we have good decisions anyhow. But if I'm really honest, I'm also struggling a bit. I know, so it's difficult to find the right decisions, also with the schedule and also with the international games anyhow. But if I'm really honest, we also have to be careful that we're not heading into the wrong direction in football. So it's great that we can play further on, but anyhow, a few decisions there. When I think about the international games right now, everywhere in the country and in the world, the workload is reduced for each and every person anyhow. And you got the feeling right now, we try to increase the workload for the players. I don't want to complain about this, and it's a privilege that we are allowed to work, and it's great. So for that, no complaints. But it's hard to understand anyhow. We have to play right now in a shorter period of time, more games in terms of league games and cup games. And right now we head into international breaks when the players don't have to play 2 games, but even 3 games anyhow. And they have to travel around in high risk areas. That's hard to accept, because anyhow we have a lockdown and no one is allowed to see his family members and sometimes not his kids. And then we send the players into high risk areas, and they travel around, and not just for the competitive games, but also for friendly games. And it seems like, okay, you understand this, because anyhow also the nations want probably to earn some money anyhow, but it's hard to accept, if I'm honest. And also, like, the decisions around us as a club, I don't want to complain there, because anyhow we are a team who is pretty good in terms of fitness level, and the more difficult the situation is, perhaps the more advantage we have as a club, because we are pretty fit and have in terms of fitness level fantastic guys, but also, like, in terms of safety and health, and also the quality of the game, I'm not sure if we're heading into the right direction. We're playing right now 7 games within 21 days, and right now the international players for us, 15 or 16 players are around. They have to play again 3 games or 3 days. They have to play, and they come back, and more or less till February we go further on in this rhythm. So, and I understand this, but anyhow, then it's difficult to understand. After the first lockdown period, we had during the games breaks for drinking, for recovery. We had 5 substitutions. We had bigger squads, game day squads with 20 players anyhow. And it's hard to understand why we don't do this in this moment. So it's all across Europe. They allow 20 players in the game day squad. We say, no, we stick with 80. All around Europe, they allow 5 substitutions. We are there and stay there with 3. And I rather speak about this topic when we are successful. We are at the moment successful like no other team on this level. So I think I'm allowed to speak about this topic and to make sure, okay, it's difficult in terms of safety and health and also the quality of the game. If I'm honest, if we go further on like this, I'm a bit concerned that we're not heading into the right direction in this term. So again, it's a privilege that we're allowed to work further on. It's a privilege that, and I understand in terms of money, we have to take some strange decisions, and it's difficult to deal with the clubs. But I'm really not sure if we head into the right direction in terms of safety and health, and also in terms of quality of the games. If we increase the load of the players more and more, especially in this period, and it's also a sign right now. So I can't tell you who is available for tomorrow for the game day squad, because we play all 3 days, and it's unbelievable workload, especially keeping in mind there was no real summer break, there was no real preseason anyhow, but we still have more games in a shorter period of time, and don't give us a chance to, for example, substitute 5 times during a game or to travel with bigger squads anyhow. I think some decisions are difficult to understand. If I'm really honest, also that we still have to play friendly international games with nations. It's difficult to understand, but I also appreciate that it's difficult for the key people to make the decisions. So, and I rather complain after a winning streak and when we have the momentum on our side, instead of complaining and after a loss or whatever, because then it sounds always like, yeah, you're searching for excuses. Anyhow, I think in general, when we see the bigger picture, we have to be a bit careful also in terms of health and safety of the players, because there are no Robins, they're human beings. They're not allowed right now to see their families and their grandmother and their grandfather and their children sometimes, but they have to travel for friendly games into high risk areas. Anyhow, it feels a bit strange, if I'm honest, and also like it hurts us perhaps even more than clubs like Wycombe or Rotherham, who don't have to give away then more like their international players for the friendly games, because they don't have that many national team players. So it's a tricky period, and I'm really not sure if we're heading into the right direction in these decisions.